Hello my charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. And if this is your first time with me, I'd like to say welcome. My name is Alexis, but I'm also known as MissTrenchcoat all across the internet. I'm an online entrepreneur who helps overwhelmed women manage their time, energy, and expectations so they can get all of their big thoughts, plans, dreams, and ideas out of their head and onto paper so they can get down to business creating their dream life. And in today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about how to get your thoughts and plans out of your head and onto paper. We're going to be talking today about how to journal. Specifically, I want to share with you 7 strategies for productivity, manifestation, and self-therapy journaling. So in this video today, I'm going to explain to you why you should start journaling. I'm going to talk about those 7 strategies that you might want to consider. We're going to talk about the tools that I use and that you might want to use as you start your journaling practice. And we're going to be talking about how to actually build the habit. So not just getting started, but actually how to follow through and get the benefits that journaling has to offer. So if that sounds like something you want to learn about, stay tuned. So first, why would you want to start a journaling practice? Well, there are plenty of reasons why someone would want to journal. And if you're watching this video, I have a hunch that you are trying to get some inspiration for yourself, or you already know why you want to start in some form or another. I think it's very important when you do start a new sort of practice or a regular habit like journaling that you know what you intend to get out of the experience going into it. So when you have that personal reason or your why or your intention set for yourself, it makes it much easier for you to actually decide the strategy that you want to use and to stick with the practice and remain consistent. So there are many documented benefits to journaling, just to name a few right now: mental clarity, improving your productivity, reducing your stress and anxiety, increasing your happiness, identifying and overcoming limiting beliefs, reprogramming your mindset, self-therapy and reflection for more self-awareness, and manifestation of goals. So those are all the different reasons why you might want to start journaling. And depending on the different strategy that you can use, you can actually get some or many of those benefits from your regular practice. Okay, so now that you know why you want to journal, what you're intending to get out of it, let's discuss those 7 common strategies for journaling. Now, I want to be very clear that you can choose to use one or more of these journaling strategies at once, right? So you don't have to say, I'm sticking to this and that's the habit I'm building. Choose the strategy or strategies that have the outcomes that you're interested in, that sound the most interesting to you. For myself personally, I actually use like a number of these, if not really like all of them technically, at different times. So for me, although I'm someone who does try to journal regularly, it would be great to journal every day, but I can't say that I actually really stick to daily journaling, but I definitely journal several times a week. During that weekly journaling session, whenever I have it, I may do like a couple of these strategies at once. And then there might just be like an off day where I need to use one of them for a specific reason. So these are the 7 common strategies. Number 1 is the brain dump. So this is when you write down all of the things that you're holding on to in your mind to organize and prioritize them. So this is one of the productivity tips that I actually share, and is something that's part of my master planning system, is actually doing a brain dump regularly. But this is actually a type of journaling practice that you could use as well. Just writing down all of the things you're holding on to in your mind, your thoughts and your plans and dreams and ideas, and organizing them and prioritizing them. So that's the first way that you could be journaling. And brain dumping, I think, has the ability to help you with mental clarity, increasing your productivity, and lowering your stress. It's been documented to be able to do all of those things. Next type of journaling is stream of consciousness writing. So when I think about this form of journaling, I think of always the artist's way morning pages. You may be familiar with those. It's the idea of first thing in the morning when you wake up, you kind of write stream of consciousness, all of your thoughts and feelings and emotions, just writing everything down. I think in that book, they say to write 3 pages, but you're literally writing everything down, writing it onto paper, getting all of those thoughts and emotions out. So with stream of consciousness writing, this is definitely a strategy that's going to help you with the reduction of stress, mental clarity, and even a self therapy and self reflection and self awareness if you're someone who's using it that way. So, that is the second way that you can journal. Just stream of consciousness, write everything that you're thinking of and feeling, and kind of talk to your journal like you're talking to a best friend or a family member or a therapist, whoever you'd feel comfortable with. Strategy number 3 is to gratitude journal. So, this is a very simple way of journaling, literally just listing out gratitude, things that you're grateful for. And it's a really good thing to help you with your mindset and also increasing your happiness. There was a book, I think, that was written called 10% Happier that's all about gratitude journaling because it's been documented to make you 10% happier if you do a regular journaling practice that involves gratitude. Yeah, gratitude journaling is another strategy that you could be using. Number 4 are to use journaling prompts. So, if you're someone who wants to get started, but you're not really sure what you want to write, like maybe the idea of a blank page in front of you is a little bit intimidating. I will be honest, it's intimidating for me as well. Then maybe something like guided journaling for self reflection with different prompts would help you. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or over on my blog. Make sure you're following me in those places, but I often give out journaling prompts over on Instagram or in blog posts, even here on YouTube. I've recently done that. So if you're someone who's interested in journaling, using prompts is a great way to get started, just to help you really self-reflect and become more self-aware and just really learn more about yourself. Next strategy, number 5, is to use affirmations. So, affirmations are like positive statements that are like beliefs that you want to hold. And what I do when I'm doing affirmation journaling is I will literally choose up 1 to 3 affirmations usually. I try not to write too many. And I will write them out multiple times, like 3 or 5 or 7 or 10 times. So basically, you are just reprogramming your mind. You're really just like solidifying this affirmation in your mind by repeatedly writing it instead of saying it. So a lot of people will repeat affirmations out loud. That's a wonderful practice, but I find that actually getting tactile and journaling them, writing them out repeatedly, also helps to reprogram your subconscious. So this is going to be another one of those strategies that, yes, it might help your mental clarity and reduce stress and increase happiness. But I think more so, it's probably better for overcoming limiting beliefs and reprogramming your mindset and even manifestation of your goals. So if those are interesting to you, then perhaps using affirmations in your journaling could be a strategy you'd like to use. Okay, next strategy is scripting. So, scripting is when you write out how you want your day to go for the purpose of manifesting it. So, there's a lot of information out there, a lot of people who, for years and years and years and years, have been using a scripting methodology, literally just writing out essentially like the way you want your day to flow. So something like, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. and I'm going to journal for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to do my morning routine and get ready. Then I'm going to make myself a lovely breakfast of whatever you want for breakfast. Then I'm going to go ahead and get to work, and I'm going to have a wonderful day working on these projects. And then I'm going to take my dog out for a walk around this time. And then I'm going to come back to my work and finish up and organize my office, maybe do a little bit of cleaning around the house, then make dinner of this. Oh, we skipped lunch in there. Sorry about that. Go back, put lunch in there if you have lunch. And then make your dinner, have your evening routine, and maybe watch a few shows on TV. So something like that is like scripting out the way you want your day to flow. It's a wonderful strategy for journaling, literally just setting a full intention for your day and the way you want to flow. Does it mean that you're absolutely going to always have days that follow that script? Not necessarily, but it is something that can help you reprogram your subconscious to really set a really clear intention for what you want to happen. And I know that over time, the more and more you script, the better you're actually going to get at following that script for yourself. So that's another type of journaling that you absolutely could use. And then 7th and final strategy for journaling is future writing. So this is a little bit similar to scripting, but essentially what future writing is when you journal as yourself, but in a future date. And what you're doing is you are recounting what has happened to you in terms of some goal or achievement that's been met. So something I have, shared with my community before was around New Year's. I like to do a future writing session where I'm writing a journal entry for myself as myself, but a year in advance. So the close of 2021, right? It's January 2021 now. So if I wrote how my year was going to go from the perspective of myself already having lived it, right? And so it's very similar terms of manifestation as scripting is. So that's another type of journaling you could actually be doing on a regular basis. Okay, so now you know why you want to journal, what you want to get out of journaling, and the strategies you could be using. Next, let's talk about the tools that you can use to journal, and specifically the tools that I use to journal. So, for the most part, if you're getting started with journaling, all you need is some blank note paper, right? Or even a note taking app on your phone or your computer. Now, there is some data that supports writing by hand rather than typing, but that is really for specific benefits of stress reduction. So, what you intend to get out of your journaling is key to know when you're choosing the tools that you're going to use. So, as an example, I would say that the best thing to start with is just like a blank notebook or journal, something like a Moleskine or a Stayology, or even just like a blank ruled composition notebook, whatever sort of notebook you have. That's a great tool to use. And of course, a pen or a pencil or crayons or markers, whatever writing utensils you choose, that's really all you need. As long as you know what type of journaling strategy you're using and are prepared to just fill that blank page up, you can journal using a blank notebook. And again, like I said, even in app, I sometimes use Apple Notes on my computer to do like stream of consciousness journaling when I am struggling with something and I want to work it out and kind of do like self-therapy for myself. So you really don't need anything too complicated to start with journaling. Now, for myself personally, I do get a little intimidated by staring at a completely blank page with like no structure or guidance. So over the years, I've been journaling and creating my own inserts for various types of journaling that I've been doing. So I have things like a weekly gratitude insert. That was like the first insert I ever created for myself to get into the practice of journaling every day. It was gratitude journaling, and that's one of the simplest ways to start a journaling practice for sure. So that was something I have. I also developed my High Vibe Bible, which is like a 90-day manifestation journal. This is like a loosely guided gratitude and manifestation journal experience. So it gives you the space to set your intentions, set your manifestations, and to do your daily gratitude and just write out or script your day however you'd like to do that. I've also designed a number of journaling workbooks for my empire building students and my productivity mastermind members that have prompts that are intended to help them with specific areas of their productivity, mindset, and business. And most recently, I actually designed a day on 2-page planning and journaling insert based on my previous video, 5 daily prompts and affirmations for making a plan that comes true. So I've been loving that insert because even though it's a little bit more planning than I normally do, doing a day on 1 page, I absolutely love having the additional structure, and I love having my journaling space be right there on the back of my insert so that I can plan my whole day out and then I can journal at the same time. So I've been finding that very helpful as well, and that's another one of the inserts that has been given to my productivity mastermind members. Okay, and now the final piece of journaling is building the habit. So it's up to you to decide if you need journaling to be a daily practice, a weekly practice, or just something that you do sporadically when you need it. This links back to your why, and ultimately, it's your choice. You really cannot mess up a journaling practice. There are no rules that say that you have to journal a specific amount of time or at a specific time of day to get benefit from it. Yes, if you journal more often, you're likely going to see greater benefits, but you don't have to be someone who journals every single day, first thing in the morning, and writes like 3 pages out of morning pages in order to consider yourself a journaler and get the benefits from journaling. I really highly recommend that you check in with yourself and your why for journaling and identify the types of journaling you may be interested in doing. Now, like I said earlier, although I'm someone who does like strive to journal daily, it's not something that I get to every day. And some days, I might be successful and be able to do my journaling in the morning, but then some days I might do it at like lunchtime or even like before bed. So I really don't hold myself like too highly accountable. I just try to use journaling as as a tool to help me when I need it. But I really want to drive home with you guys that I don't want you to turn the idealization of some perfect journaling practice into a super high expectation that you end up not meeting and then beating yourself up about later, right? Like, I don't want journaling to become another thing on your to-do list that you feel like you're setting really high expectations for, or it needs to be perfect, or you absolutely can't miss a day, or else it's totally not worth doing. I personally believe that even if you're someone who just journals sporadically, right, when you're having an issue or feeling some sort of tension, then that is still a way for you to journal and get benefits from journaling and doing a sort of self-therapy and self-reflection for yourself. So please keep that in mind. I want you to set very reasonable expectations and always remember that journaling is a tool for your benefit. So if I had to recommend someone getting started, this is what I would say. I would say pick out tools that get you excited about the practice. I think if you're someone here on this channel, you're definitely someone who gets excited about stationery and pretty pens and all that stuff. So just pick a few tools to get started with. Don't go overboard. Keep it simple. Just like a nice notebook and maybe a pen and maybe a highlighter or something like that. If you want to highlight certain things that you write in your journaling, no big deal. Pick a few essential items, something that makes you excited, and then start slow. So maybe you're someone who wants to work up to a weekly journaling practice. That's wonderful, but start by setting the expectation that you're going to try to journal once a week, right? And after a few weeks of doing that, up it to 2 times a week, right? And then a few weeks of doing that, 3 times a week, right? Do you see where I'm going? Build the habit slowly. Set your expectations reasonably, because this is not something where you need to say, my expectation is I'm going to journal every morning at 6 a.m. And then when that doesn't happen one morning because you're a human, then you feel like a failure and a disaster. I don't want that to happen. So that is what I would recommend. Take it slow. Use some pretty stationery up, probably something you already have in your stash, because I know you have a bunch of stuff in your stash you're not using. I have a million notebooks that I am not using, and of course still I just use my own inserts. So that is my recommendation for how to get started with journaling. I hope this video has been helpful and insightful for you. I would love to hear about your journaling practice down in the comments, or your prospective journaling practice. What strategy do you think you're going to use? What sort of tools do you think you're going to use? Let me know. Of course, in the description box of this video, I will leave you links to as many of the inserts and things that I have available, so that you guys can check those out if you're interested. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with anyone you think will find it interesting. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, bye-bye.